Hello Sharks, I am Jonathan Little, here today with another episode of Weekly Poker Hand. I hope you're having a fantastic day, a fantastic life. I hope you're making the most of your opportunities. You only have one life to live, make the most of it. Today, we're going to be reviewing an interesting hand from the final table of the $10,000 buy-in GG Super Millions that takes place every week on GG Poker. Here we are watching two world-class players battle it out, including Bruno Volkmann, who just absolutely smashes the games. He gets in there, he battles hard. Let's take a look at this hand playing heads up against C. Sergebrecht. Do we get it right? You all know me. I'm from America and therefore cannot pronounce any names. All right, let's take a look. We are playing roughly 22 big blinds deep, so pretty shallow stacked right off the bat. Facing a limp from Serge. Ace-5 suited. Interesting scenario right off the bat, right? You could just rip it in, but I think this is probably too, call it good to do that. Not entirely sure what we should do in this scenario with the ace-5 suited. I'm going to presume whatever Bruno does is right. Checking seems fine, too. The hand flops pretty well. Raising's fine. You don't really want to raise and get jammed on, though. Like right here, if you get shoved on, you just have to call it off, which is kind of unfortunate, but whatever. Raising's fine. You do have the best hand here a large chunk of the time. All right. The one problem with raising is that you usually have nothing after the flop. I can hear everyone in the YouTube comment section loud and clear. Why would you raise? You're just going to miss the flop. It's okay. Sometimes you're going to miss the flop. Let's see how Bruno plays this one when he misses the flop. Giving it some thought. It's a pretty bad flop, really. If you think about Serge's limping range, it's going to be a lot of middle connected type cards. You may be surprised to see him limping and calling with the king 4, but it's fine. You could also, you can kind of do anything you want if you know your opponent's going to make some sort of error pre-flop. Presuming Bruno plays good, fundamentally sound poker, well, I guess you want to play good, fundamentally sound heads-up strategy now, don't you? If you want to learn good, fundamentally sound heads-up strategy for shallow stacks, check out pokercoaching.com. We have a spin and go course, and when you play spin and goes, you're often playing heads-up with shallow stacks. Ryan O'Donnell, the master of three-handed spin and goes, has an amazing course there. Check it out, pokercoaching.com/premium. It is right there in the courses tab. I'm very confident he has a GTO strategy laid out for you for this spot. Anyway, Bruno goes for the flop bet. Seems fine, right? Maybe you're just supposed to check fold. I don't know. Pretty gross spot. Serge turns the nuts. Of course he does. Every time I raise, the opponent turns the nuts. Don't complain about bad beats. Sometimes you have to take second place instead of first. Does Bruno bet again? This turn's actually pretty good for him to bluff, I think. Because now, if Serge does have a marginal pair, he may fold it out to a bet. The problem, though, is that he's going to have a lot of hands with decent equity. If he's sitting here with any sort of gut shot or whatnot, he's just not going to fold, right? Pretty nasty scenario. What do you do in this spot? You know what? I don't know the right answer here. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I want to know what you would do in this scenario. Pause the video and write what you would do. I want to know if you would check, looking to check fold to a bet, check, looking to check call a bet, check, looking to check shove, assuming the opponent makes a reasonable bet size, which is probably what's going to happen if you check. Or should you bet? If you're going to bet, should you bet small, medium, or all of it? Pause the video and write what you would do. While you're thinking, I'm going to think about what I would do here. Go ahead, write it in the comment section what I think that is. Obviously, we don't know the difference. What a annoying spot. I think you're supposed to check call. As nasty as it sounds. Why check call? Because you will induce bluffs from all sorts of draws, right? And there are a lot of draws. The thing is, you don't know which draws you're against. But that's fine because a lot of them are just going to end up missing on the river. So even if some of the draws do come in, some of them are going to miss, and that's going to induce Serge here to go for the bluff. I think it's a check call. How gross, huh? If you like these videos, do me a favor. Click the like and subscribe button. Also the notification bell. Let's see what Bruno does. I'm going to presume it's right. Bruno goes for the bet. I suppose just straight up protection. The problem is I think you're going to get... every draw is going to either call or raise. And if they call, you don't love it. If they raise, you don't love it. He goes for the bet, though. He goes for the small bet. I think I would have ended up checking there and check calling. I guess check folding's probably fine too, because Surge's range to call flop is going to be a lot of good draws and a lot of good made hands, and all of them have good equity, and ace-5 is going to realize this equity really poorly. Like right here on the river, what are you going to do if you get a bad river? You going to bluff it? Feels pretty nasty. All right, we river. Nothing, but it pairs the 9, which is like kind of good for Bruno because now all the draws miss. He's pretty unlucky here that Serge is sitting here with the king. By the way, you may say, should Serge raise the king on the turn because he wants to make sure he prices out draws? No. Kind of like how I was viewing Bruno's hand as sort of a weak marginal made hand. I think Serge's hand is like a good marginal made hand. And in these scenarios, you just want to call and give your opponent every possible opportunity to bluff. Like if he knew Bruno had the ace-5, he would just always call and always give him a chance to bluff the river, right? Or, do something like check call on the river, right? Anyway, I like the way Serge has played this throughout the entire pot so far. He does call. I think this is also just a check call for Bruno. This is unfortunate, but like whenever all the draws miss, you definitely don't want to bet, because if you bet here, every pair is going to call because all the draws miss. So you're not value betting or bluffing. So I think betting the river now would be like pretty bad. Don't know what Bruno does. You think he's going to be pretty bad? I'm about to embarrass one of us if he doesn't do what I do. So I think this is just a check call because you're going to check. Serge has to go for the value shove like he has the best hand by a mile. And Bruno's going to have to call it off. Gross spot, huh? Why? I think some people may look at this and say, why would you call it off with the ace-5 no problem? Because, look, every single draw missed. And Serge definitely has a whole load of draws in his range. Limping and calling their ace pre-flop, just calling the small flop bet, just calling the small turn bet. He doesn't need to be raising in position in this scenario with much at all, so he's going to have a lot of draws, and those draws are going to feel at least somewhat inclined to bluff, and ace-high beats the vast majority of them. Tough spot. Good game, Bruno. Good game. Second place. Absolutely crushes these $10,000 buy-in tournaments. Gosh, I hope this doesn't play out differently than I think it would. What do you all think it's going to play out differently? All right, one parlay done. Bruno checked. Obviously, Serge is going to shove. I don't see any other option besides all in. You should value bet with your king here. Your king is just like always good. Don't be a nit. Don't check it back. Don't bet small. None of that. You want to shove because whenever Bruno does have a hand worse than a king, that is a pair, he's going to call. And you may even hero call with the ace high here. Serge does shove. Easy shove. And I think this is just a call. This is one of these spots where maybe some of the superheroes online find folds that I just don't. You got to realize if you're playing high stakes tournaments against very good players, you just can't be looking to make big folds when all the draws miss because they are going to be willing to go for the bluff. If you're playing against small stakes weak opponents who will never bluff or rarely bluff, then maybe you can find a fold here. But like if Serge is sitting here with a hand like 8 high or 10 high or 7 high, you think he's really going to check it back and just lose? No shot. No shot. No shot. Bruno does call. Like the way he played it. What can you do? Good game. Serge wins the tournament. And $267,000. Runner-up, Bruno, can cry himself to sleep with only $208,000. Good game. Good job to these players. Congrats. Thanks to all of you for being here with me today. If you enjoyed this video, click the like and subscribe buttons below. If you want to learn more about short-stacked, short-handed, 3-handed and 2-handed strategies, make sure you check out Ryan O'Donnell's super in-depth spin and go course at pokercoaching.com/premium. Have a great day. Good luck. Hope you have a great week. And I'll talk to you next time. What's big, green, and gives you the freedom to do whatever you want? Yeah, it's money. And if you want to start your journey to a big pile of money, click the subscribe button right over here. See you in the next video.